Wow.
What the fuck, Blake?
Wow.
So we've been talking for like the past 5 minutes, and this dude didn't press the record button.
Wow.
We gotta start all over.
Wow.
All over. Here we go. Here we are. We're here at Windrock Park, Oliver Springs, Tennessee, Trail 12.
Trail 12, and
we've already said this once, so here we are again.
We're about a mile into it at this point. We don't. Some professional podcaster forgot to hit. Professional YouTuber forgot to hit record on the microphone, which kind of defeats the purpose of wearing these goofy headsets if you don't press record. So, but breaks of the game. It's a learning curve at this point. This is the first episode of. I think we're gonna call this the Trail Mix podcast. But to back up to what I've already said once, my name's Blake. This is my wife Carly, and we've been together 14 years and been riding razors up here at Windrock for 6 years. So throughout the years, we've had a ton of conversations, and the more and more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, some of those are just absolutely hilarious, and people would die if they could hear them. So I thought podcasting is in right now, and I thought I'd give it a go. We have donned our sports announcer headsets. I feel like I'm about to call a field goal at the 3-point line while somebody shoots a
scratch all of that. Yeah. The dudes at the hockey games, because they actually look cool, because they're like talking 90 nothing.
Yeah. But anyways, one of the things that I literally, before I realized I wasn't recording, was over the years we've had a ton of memories, like different trails, different experiences, different breakdowns, failures, and I've just got this giant bank of memories saved up. But I wanted to ask her about this all day yesterday, and I saved it for today while we were recording. But what is your oldest memory of Windrock? Like, what's one of the earliest ones you have?
Earliest? Well, so here's a funny one I remember. Is we were down here for July 4th one weekend, and we had already stayed from like Thursday to Monday. I feel like July 4th was on like a Tuesday. And I was supposed to go to work that Tuesday, and I called in just so we could stay another day.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
That was a really good ride. We were here for like 5 days, I feel like. It felt like 5 days. Thursday through Tuesday, something like that. But yeah, I called in just so we could stay another day. Oh, shit. So my hopes for this podcast is he's going to focus on driving and not just podcasting, so he don't flip us. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I had plenty of options to choose from, but I was like, we might as well make it something spicy so that if the audio content isn't great, they can at least have the video. I've got another camera going forward, so may flip back and forth between some of these interesting spots. But mine, if I had to say my earliest, I'm pretty sure it was our first trip here, but one of my earliest memories was we'd come up here, and I was not even, this was like pre-Windrock Riders Facebook era. Like, I think maybe the page existed, I just didn't know it existed, but we had heard about the park, and it was back in the day of internet forums, and I was getting instructions to go places off of like razorforums.net and some other places. But we come to the general store, and they've got this pre-guided route, and it takes you near a lot of the cool attractions, but not to them because they leave the property. So like, it would take you to the end of G6, but it wouldn't tell you to go see the train. And we had done that, of course, so we would get to there and hop out on 116 and go see the train, and that was back before it got completely trashed. But
yeah,
we come back from there, and the route took you down Trail 26 to the end of 26 and 27, and then told you to go back on 27. But like I said, this route kind of takes you near a bunch of stuff. So this was back before Brushy Mountain Prison was a tourist attraction. And we got to the end of 26 and we're like, let's go find it, let's go check it out. You know, back then it was just the prison. And it's still the prison now, but you know, we got out and we did the thing that you're not supposed to do, and got out onto the road there at the end of 26. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. But I got there at the end of 26, got out on the road, and we're like, I remember I had it wrote down on my phone. It was like, turn left, go to this intersection, turn right, go to this intersection, turn left. And I was following it, and I'm like, this can't be right. We're like in the middle of a town driving around. So we finally gave up. We were like, I don't know. Turned around and come back, and we met Dana and Richard right there on our way. We were heading back because we just gave up on it, and they were coming out to go see the prison in their T-Rex. And we met them, and that's probably one of my best memories, because we just completely gave up hope and just accepted defeat, and we're like, you know, this ain't right. We're driving on the roads, so it's just totally not a thing in Alabama. But is that a drop off? No, it's not.
No, you can.
But and then we wound up getting a personal tour of the prison by an ex-prisoner, so that wound up being just a completely awesome experience.
Yeah, that's a really cool memory. That's a good one.
A lot of good memories up here, a lot of bad ones. Not a lot of bad ones, only a couple.
Only a couple, because somebody likes to explore, and we'll leave it at that.
Hey, it looked like a trail at first.
It looked like the side of a mountain to me.
It looked like a trail at first.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody don't know when to turn around and just go back.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
Yeah. So we're out here today in a 2019 Turbo RZR, and of course I've got one of those obnoxious blow-off valves on it.
My favorite part.
Yeah, clearly my favorite part. You'll hear it all throughout the video. I don't even mean to do it. I'm just everywhere I go. But before this, we had the Crawler Edition, and made a ton of videos with the Crawler Edition.
Oh, that's soupy.
And before we had the Crawler Edition, we had the old red RZR, which I call plain Jane because it was the most bone stock XP1000 you could get.
We didn't even have a winch.
We didn't have a winch until about 6 months before we sold it.
Yeah, so the first time we come up here, we didn't have a winch.
We didn't have a winch.
We were just free-rolling it.
We did put harnesses in it before we come up here, because that's, you know, 4-point, which we always run 5 points with a little cooter strap, but harnesses is like, you don't just come to Windrock with a stock seat belt. I mean, stock cage is risking a bad mouth, but a stock seat belt, you're just kind of asking to get hurt. But we had our
dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, for real, get thrown up against the rocks.
Yeah.
But we had that very bone stock RZR, and that RZR is kind of where we cut our teeth. The one I wanted to ask you is, you know, you've been around a lot of off-road vehicles. We've got had a lot of toys throughout the years, and we kind of settled on a RZR as our ultimate off-road vehicle. But if you had to give somebody advice about picking a vehicle, what do you think is the best option? And I know this is a super loaded question, but
it's very loaded. Like, I'm obviously gonna say a Polaris RZR. I mean, like, it has everything, and if it doesn't have it, you can add it to it. Specifically, the Trails and Rocks, that was my favorite.
Yeah, that was my favorite. It comes rigged out. I mean, it comes with high clearance. It comes with a better skid plate. It comes with a winch. It
comes with harnesses. We didn't like them, but it comes with them.
Yeah, we sold those harnesses and paid for new harnesses, and still made a little money at the end of the day. So.
Yep. Yeah, that thing rode like a cloud. Like this one, it kind of jerks you around a little bit at the expense. You know, I mean, you get to hear the blow-off valve, so that's fun, but it kind of jerks you around. The Trails and Rocks was very smooth, not bumpy.
And, like, I mean, here's my thing is I know that these things are stupid expensive compared to, like, a four-wheeler, and that's what a lot of people's arguments are. Well, not everyone can just afford to get in a RZR, and I get it. Everyone's positions are different, but that with financing, I mean, use someone else's money As long as, I mean, if it's not a matter of you can't work and earn money, it's just a matter of you don't have it. Man, finance one of these bad boys out for 5 or 6 years and have a super low payment, have something to get out and make some memories with, because I couldn't tell you the number of memories we've made in this thing, and not all of them just riding. I mean, like, we've learned a lot of life lessons via this thing, like the sketchy trailer, with what to watch out for on buying a used trailer on Marketplace, and actually paying attention to your tires on your trailer, making sure they're in good shape.
You know, things that are important. Now, but I remember before we even had one of these, looking at people that did have one, and we were in that same position. We're like, why would anybody spend $20,000+ on something that you could, spend $3,000 on and get a Jeep?
Yeah.
Well, now I know.
That was the argument whenever we were just high school kid, or just out of high school working fast food, I was starting college, and we were living on our own and had our bills and stuff, and a friend of mine got one, and I remember, and I hope he don't hear this because he might judge me for it, but I remember saying, why would you spend that much money on a toy to go out in the woods? And now I totally get it. It's like you only live once. You might as well have as much fun as you can while you're doing it. Don't kind of.
It is worth it. This thing is worth every single penny we've spent on it. All 3 of them that we've had.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of my favorite activities. For sure. I mean, you can do so much. You can literally go out and ride wherever you want to. It's just point and go.
Yeah, it's kind of about the freedom to me. I mean, like I can see the Jeep argument because you can drive them on the road, but at the end of the day, we're in the middle of 73,000 acres at Windrock, and we're surrounded by another, probably, I don't know how much TWRA is, but another 60 or 70,000 outside of that we have access to. It's just we have so much freedom. We can go wherever we want to. And what's great about they've kind of picked up on it here locally, and all these towns are starting to put ATV routes in, so you can get in and out of them. And oh God, it's a little rough. So you can get in and out of them, get fuel, get food, and everything. So it's kind of like everyone's fascination with camping and overlanding. It's like, I totally get it, because you just want to go out there and be by yourself, which we're very much by ourselves right now.
Always.
But just having everything is not in your control. You can't really just say everything's in your control, because stuff happens, but you it's kind of like a RPG, not the grenade launcher, but the video game.
Yeah.
You kind of get to choose your own path and figure out where you want to go. Like, I didn't know we were going to do Trail 12 until about 20 minutes ago. And it just kind of worked out. It's kind of a good warm-up, because I think we're going to do 39 next.
Then we can cover a lot more ground.
Yeah.
A lot faster.
Oh, yeah, God.
I mean, like, Jeeps pick one trail, and that's what the trail they're doing for the day. And here, we've already been on, like, I don't know, 4 trails this morning already.
Yeah. There's pros and cons to both of them, but man, for me, it's hard to imagine getting a Jeep, especially if you're gonna drive it to a park to ride. Like, I just couldn't. That was a little rough.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt.
But I couldn't live with the anxiety of, like, man, if I break this stupid thing, we're not getting home.
Yeah.
Where this, it's kind of the same scenario, right? If we're out here in the middle of nowhere and we break it, we do have to get it out of the woods, but we still have a truck that we're going home in. So you had a really interesting concept yesterday that I really liked, was the food. How'd you say it?
I said, name a food that generally you hate, but every once in a while you get a hankering for. Because we all have one. Like, there's food that I hate. I don't like cheese puffs. I don't like the taste of them. I don't really like cheese flavored things, for real, like chips or whatever. But every once in a while, I get a hankering for a cheese puff, and I just want to eat a cheese puff. But
Get
normally,
those-
I hate it.
Get those orange fingers going.
Yeah, I hate them.
And mine was the snowballs, the hostess snowballs.
Yeah.
The old pink fluffy coconut covered. Well, I don't think they're coconut. They're it's marshmallows with chocolate inside of them.
Well, I thought the little pink thing was coconut flakes.
Maybe it is.
I think it is.
I haven't had one.
But either way, they don't taste good.
Yeah, like nobody eats 2 full snowballs in one sitting.
No.
And if you do, then fight me because
Yeah.
you don't really.
You don't really like those snowballs.
But man, sometimes I'm just like, man, a good old mouthful of marshmallow fluff would just sit right, you know? Get a mouthful of those pink balls. But to expand on that, I thought last night when I was sitting at the hotel, I thought about this was, I have the same thing, but for restaurants, because there's restaurants where I just never, ever desire to eat there, and occasionally I'm just like, man, that would slap right now.
Oh yeah, Captain D's.
Captain D's.
Captain D's, man.
Captain D's is a good one for me too. I very rarely eat Captain D's, but man, I tell you one that you're not gonna like, and it's not a chain restaurant, but Victoria's in Jasper was freaking. It's like a cafeteria, meat and three type of place, and I never crave that because I mean it's lunchroom food, just like school lunchroom food. You go through with your little tray and pick out your meat, pick out your sides. But man, sometimes I'm like, you know, slice of meatloaf and collard greens would really hit.
Yeah, that don't really slap for me, but that pineapple sweet and sour sauce from Captain D's, that slaps. That slaps.
This mud hole's about to slap.
Yeah, it is. Probably have a stink too.
Oh yeah, there we go. So of all the, going back to riding because it's obviously the easiest thing to talk about is what we're doing right now. Of all the scenic places up here at Windrock, all the places, like discounting how you get to them. I mean, you could drive to it on a paved road or drive to it on a fun trail. But of all the scenic places at Windrock, what's your favorite?
I mean, I love going to the windmills
Yeah.
because you get views like literally everywhere you turn, all the way around. You
Yeah, it's
have
kind
a view of
of
something.
panoramic because you can look over and see like the campground, or you can look back and see that big valley with the windmills.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of the first like touristy things we went and looked at, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Besides the train.
Yep.
Alright, I'll figure it out.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. There we go. You act like this is your first podcast or something.
It's definitely not my first podcast. Before we just started to do or before he decided we should do the podcast, I asked him, I was like, so can we blur my face out the whole time? Because that's going to be pretty embarrassing.
It'd be like one of those, like CBS 42 where they're sitting in the back in the shadow and their voice is all.
I need a bag.
I would say of all the scenic places, I mean, really like, you got scenic places and then you got just like trails that are scenic too, but of all the scenic places, I like going to the flats and exploring and seeing the elk and all that. We've been up there and watched the sunset. And what's cool about the flats is the tree, you're so high up and the tree line's so far away, you can watch a sunset in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like an all-night thing. You just got to time it right and a little bit of impeccable timing. Which way? I think it goes this way. A little bit of decent timing, you can get up there, you go right around, see the elk, and then just pull over to the end and watch a sunset. And then the train back in its heyday, which I haven't, I mean, it's been years since we've been to the train, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while. Once it started going downhill, we quit going over there. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, I kind of.
It used to be really cool, though.
Yeah, I really, it's kind of one of those things, like you want to go back just to see it, but Also don't want to go back and just be completely like disappointed.
Like, we just want to kind of keep the good memory of it that we had. Like, oh, it's a good little train.
Yeah, we definitely went to the train, I think twice with the Red Racer.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
Got one really banging shot of the Red Razor with the train too. It was really cool.
Yeah, I'll have to dig that up and put it in because that's a pretty cool shot.
That's a pretty cool shot.
And we got the same shot with the Crawler Edition. We just haven't been back with this one to get the same shot.
Yeah.
The Crawler Edition wasn't, you could tell the train was already starting to get dilapidated and growed up.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing is back then you could walk, I mean you could practically drive on the other side of the train. It was, all those trees and stuff were back a good ways. And now I want to say, at least from the pictures I've seen, that the trees are about to take that thing over. But it was pretty surreal to just see this whole ass train sitting in the woods. I've always liked trains. I really like any type of unique piece of equipment like old dozers and trains and anything like that. But getting which I know you're going to incriminate myself, but we walked up on the rail cars and sat in the seats and everything and did all the things you're not supposed to do. But you know, the way I say it is you leave no trace, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
it is private property. So back then it was cool though, like everybody did it. Now it's like, hey, a bunch of crackheads have been stealing stuff, so nobody gets to go. They actually even closed the entrance, so you can't go in the main entrance anymore.
really.
A little soupy today.
A little soupy.
It hasn't rained, other than just like a light shower. So
That kind of looks neat.
yeah, pick your feet up.
Ugh. Picking my feet up. That reminds me of one of the, was it 57 that we were on? And we started going through it, and the water just come all the way up to our seats. We were like floating, and then we had to like, we tried to dig it out to drain the water. We were with Richard and Dana, I believe.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
that was, we had come down Trail 3, so that would have been 48 or 49. No, it would have been 48 because 49's closed, so it would have been either 48 or 45, but we were going to Trail 39.
Yep.
And we were going to do Cadillac Hill. We were going to go down 3, that trail, then Cadillac Hill out. But I do remember that because they had the 2 hot lifters then, right? Not just one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did have 2. So after they had one in yeah, I think they had 2 hot lifters at that point.
I think the first one went through, it might have been Richard went through, and his butt got wet, which they're snorkeled and everything. And we were pretty worried about getting water in our belt box, so we took a little shovel and drained it. Probably drained it down at 8 or 10 inches or so, but
Yeah.
it was still just up in our laps and everything. There was no hindsight. I don't know why you even rode through it. I don't know why you didn't just like walk around the puddle and then get back in.
I mean, puddle, that thing was long, buddy.
Yeah, it was kind of.
I mean, it was like half, like half of the football field or something.
We were pushing a wake with the headlights. I know that.
Yeah.
And then we went up 39, and Dana and Richard had those Outlaw 2s that come on a high lifter.
Yeah.
And those tires are just complete garbage. But they were having to winch over everything because those tires were just, I mean, they couldn't get a traction on anything. The lugs were so deep and big on them. And we were in a stock plain Jane XB1000 with 29-inch bighorns.
And no winch.
No winch.
We didn't have a winch.
And we made it the whole way without winching except for one spot at the end.
Yeah. But
That was pretty rough. There was one spot where I just been, and we bent the radius rod then too.
yep.
That stock radius rod, there was like a little ledge, and which I think all that's gone now. I think everyone has went around that ledge so much that it's gone, but
Really?
maybe we'll find out later.
Maybe.
But jumped up there and just bent the absolute crap out of that radius rod. We was probably on that last, between 48, 45, whichever one it is, and 39. We were probably like over 4 hours into just that little bitty, like less than a mile long of trail, because we were having to winch 2 high lifters and stack rocks and jump bars and do everything else to get it up through there because we didn't have a winch. I think everybody was ill by the end of that one.
Oh, yeah.
We had to get the first aid kit out for something. I can't remember what for though.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure it was you.
Probably. Yeah, I may have like smashed my finger or something.
Probably.
I
Some
don't
kind of casualty.
know. I'm definitely not against getting hurt on the trail for a good story.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite trails was we were with a pretty big group, and it was real rocky, and I drove the RZR after everybody had winched up it, and I drove right up it.
Was
I don't think this was on Windrock, but was it? It was probably over at like TWRA.
was it the Dragon's Back or?
No, it was before that.
I know what you're talking about. We were.
It was pretty gnarly.
It was 21.
Was it 21?
Yeah, it was like a staircase kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was here.
everybody winched up that, but you.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
And nobody had a video of me.
That was pre-YouTube days. That would have been a killer video. You want to go do it again?
No.
We'll go to 21 right now.
Pass. It's a big old
Right
tree.
now.
No, that was really cool though, but nobody was videoing it because I guess we were expected to winch up it. But that Trails and Rock Edition buddy just drove right up that thing.
Yep. Yeah, 21, I would go back any day of the week.
I mean, it was fun. It was a fun trail.
It's changed a ton. Oh my God. It's changed a ton. And the spot where everyone, the spot right there where everyone rolls over at, when we did it that day, this is really deep.
I hate mud. Mud is definitely my least favorite terrain.
Yep.
Hands down.
Oh, where I was going with that though is that spot where it's kind of like on the side of the hill and everyone rolls over.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how long ago it was because Clayton did that in a 2-wheel drive Terex.
Yeah.
Now, he had to back up and romp the crap out of it to do it, but he did it in a 2-wheel drive Terex, so it was definitely in much better shape back then.
That was a long time ago.
I'd love to go back on 21, but that's not a solo ride trail. That's a do it with somebody else trail. 39's probably a do it with someone else trail, but riding solo is kind of our thing. How are we doing so far?
I think we're doing okay.
You think we're doing okay?
Yeah.
I think we're doing okay.
We need something spicy to talk about.
Oh, we
We
can't
need some tea.
Oh, we had the tea earlier. I don't think we should talk about that kind of tea though.
No, that's probably not good tea.
That's a tea for later. No, you know what the real tea is freaking trail etiquette.
Trail etiquette.
Man, that's the real tea.
Man.
If
That gets me fired up.
Yeah, if you guys don't stop parking in the middle of a damn trail to have lunch,
Ah,
I
man.
swear.
There was that one time that I think we were somewhere else.
Tack it.
We were at Tackett. And they had literally stopped in the middle of the trail, made a campfire in the middle of the trail, and were out eating around the campfire in the middle of the trail. There was no way to get around them.
That was Wolf Pen Hollow.
Yep,
the
that's
trail.
what it was.
And
Yep.
what's hilarious is like literally 20 or not 20, maybe like 50 yards, like half a football field further back on the trail, they had just passed like an actual spot
off.
with a fire ring and everything. Like that dude was drunk as a skunk, talking about I'm a local and you out of towners are ruining this and everything else. And I'm like, buddy, you're a local, so one, your permit costs less than my permit cost. But two, you're not supporting local economy by paying for hotels. You're not stopping and eating at restaurants and stuff like that. I mean, if anything, we're doing more for you than you're doing for you. This is about to get rough.
Yeah, it is. Y'all don't look at my face now. I've come a long way with
Oh yeah.
my riding faces.
Last time we went through, we went that way. That way, I don't know if we'll get around that rock without banging the cage, but this way is also really rough, so it's kind of like lesser of two evils.
We gotta focus, y'all. We can't talk right now.
Yeah, I'll just casually switch to the out of car camera and fade the audio.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we ain't did that. Shit.
I need to get over more. I need to get over more and to straddle that big rock.
There we go.
Whew.
Okay.
That was a rough one. Now let's get this one out of the way. I'm just kidding.
Oh no. No.
Oh, it's so rough it knocked my sock off.
Did knock your sock off. I think you've had these socks ever since we've been together.
I've most definitely.
Your mom bought these socks.
My mom definitely bought those socks. No offense to my mom for buying those socks. It's
They're
just
some good socks.
It's just, yeah, they've stood the test of time. Always just keep my camera in a sock so it don't get scratched up. We ain't out of the woods yet, but that was one of the tough spots on this trail.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
Nobody had to get out.
Yeah, nobody had to get out. That's a good sign.
You know when a trail's bad if you're having to get out.
Yeah.
You get out, walk it, do the airplane arms.
Yeah. That's why we won't be podcasting on 39. It wouldn't be that good of a podcast if one of the hosts was outside of the RZR the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I could do like out of the car commentary.
Yeah. We
Like,
just have to get a longer cable for
Yeah.
our cheap Amazon headsets.
yeah. Get a wireless one or something.
You know, podcast aside, it is pretty nice to be able to talk and not yell.
Yeah, that is pretty cool because I can hear you pretty good and I'm not even yelling.
I don't have to.
What'd you say?
Yeah. What?
What?
Oh yeah, this one. What'd you say?
What?
That's
And
how.
then you just nod because you're tired of asking what did you say and you're just like, yep, okay. And then you just agreed to go on like 57 and starting at like 8 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
Ooh. There was a rock there.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, that's. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I'm beat.
Let's breathe for a second. Oh, or not.
Ugh. Listen, I know you can do this trail on your 250 Rancher and two-wheel drive and make it look a lot easier than this, but not that good of a driver, so gotta work with what I got.
I'm the good driver, but I only like to do the hard stuff. The technical stuff where everybody's out of their vehicle.
AKA, she only likes to be the hero.
Basically. I don't like the pleb stuff. I want to do the hard stuff.
I feel like we've had less than 3 tires on this trail the whole way.
Basically.
Is there a memory that stands out to you where we're like, damn, we're way too comfortable in this RZR?
Yeah, when we were going up, was it Airplane Hill and you flipped it right at the end?
No, Pea Gravel Hill.
Pea Gravel Hill, that's what it was, not Airplane. Pea Gravel Hill. Made it all the way up Pea Gravel Hill, and then at the very end, I don't know, there was like a boulder there, and decided to go up it, and we just flipped over sideways.
Listen, there was not a boulder there. There was a hole that I did not see.
A hole.
And I'm really good at.
Excuse me.
I'm really good at not paying attention and flipping over.
Flipped right on over, just bloop. Went up that whole hill just fine. Flipped it then.
Yeah.
I think he was like, "Whoa, I made it! Look at me!" And then bloop.
That's what it was. We got to the top, and it was there was so much leaves and stuff because in the middle of fall.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, we're past all the hard stuff." And I was goosing it, and it like slid down into a rut, and like the momentum from sliding just laid it right over.
Yep.
I got a video of it because Dana screamed like screaming, the screaming goat meme.
That was Dana.
Yeah.
You'll have to link that somewhere. That was funny.
The whole original audio from that meme was Dana. It was not actually a screaming goat. It was actually Dana.
It was a screaming Dana.
Oh yeah. Now we're at. This is the last.
Big obstacle.
This is what's the when you're on an airplane, the women that walk up and down the aisle and like take your drinks, what are those called?
Flight attendant?
Yeah, flight attendants, please secure the cockpit for departure. This is the last descent or ascent out of here. It like goes up through here a little bit, but it shouldn't be any worse than that last flight. I just know like right up there. There's a
Famous
pretty.
last words.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's not don't look that bad.
Oh, it's a good sign when you see broken plastic on the ground.
Oh yeah. You know it's a good time at that point.
That was a tough one. Tell you one time that really helped me cut my teeth with the off-camber stuff was
Your side.
Yeah, my side. When we when we went to Natra, what is it, West Point, Tennessee?
Yeah. West Point.
Natra. And I don't know if we were just on a trail that wasn't traveled much, or if we were like in between two trails, or
Yeah.
or exactly what had happened, but every trail we got on, it seemed like you were just leaning ungodly over to one side, like so much that there was points where I was like, I can't keep going, but I also can't back up.
Right. And that's where we developed the your side, my side.
Yeah. No, we're almost to the end of it. I think I can see 13 up there. Have I been calling this trail 13?
No, it's 12.
Okay. Nice. Oof.
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 Oof. Let's try that again. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Oh yeah, I was in two-wheel drive the whole time, by the way.
Definitely in two-wheel drive.
Definitely.
And in reverse, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, made that no problem. But that's the end of Trail 12. We're about to turn on to 13, so let's get through this one last bit, get on 13, and we'll sum it up with a trail review and then end it off there.
Okay. Trail review.
Wait! I can't.
Oh.
I'm driving. Can't talk. Turn the radio down.
It's bumpy.
Oh, gotta turn the radio down so I can see where I'm going. Trail review on Trail 12. What would you give it overall? 1 out of 10, 10 being the best. And what would you score it, and what would your parameters be for scoring?
Let's see, score. I'm gonna give it like a 6-ish. Parameters, I would say obstacles, and then like scenery scenery. Scenery, I like none.
Yeah.
I guess there's like not a whole lot to see there except for rocks. Obstacles. I mean, there was a couple of cool obstacles.
So you're
Yeah.
going 6 out of 10?
I'd probably say 6 out of 10 based on obstacles and scenery.
Well, I started deducting .00001 of a point for every rock that caused me to sling into my harnesses, and
Yeah.
we're at negative 642.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's that.
Overall, though, realistically, Trail 12 is a fun trail.
Yeah,
it's,
it's
challenging as hell.
It's not too long either. It's like a good mediocre trail to go on.
I would say realistically, if I was going to rank it, I'd probably say a 6 also, just because it beats the hell out of you. That's at least a 1.5 deduction for beating the hell out of you. But it is really challenging, and it makes you like pick a good line and kind of develop your skills and everything. So I would say, and you got the creek, so it's in the summertime it stays cool with that evaporative cooling effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 6. I'd say 6. 6 out of
it
10.
is.
Though it's hard to find a perfect 10. What would a perfect 10 be?
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
15.
15, yeah.
Yeah, 15 is
Short,
fun.
short and sweet. Challenging, not too rough.
It doesn't squirrel on the scenery though. There's really nothing to see other than rocks.
I think that's a good spot to end it off. So let's just let's park it up real quick and end it off here. Thanks for watching. I feel like I need to talk with my head turned because this camera keeps falling over. Holy shit, we did 51 minutes.
51 minutes.
51 minutes.
Man, I'm sorry, y'all. That was
Not
supposed
bad
to be
for a
so
first
long.
try there. We said it was going to be, what, 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
Well, you know, it happens.
An hour of us talking.
An hour of us. God, I feel sorry for anybody that watches this.
Yeah.
But that's going to be all. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you want to, I think we're going to try to do this again some other time. Maybe some other parks and stuff. But if you want to, subscribe button. Appreciate a like. Any comments about Windrock or anything we talked about, I'll get in there and answer those for you. But that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.